glowing rectangle, bombarded by notifications, algorithms, and a constant stream of information. Welcome to the modern digital matrix. It's an environment meticulously designed by the system to turn the human brain into a receiver of a very limited frequency. Every thought is hijacked. Your attention is looped endlessly into cycles of pure survival, chronic anxiety, and relentless consumption. Under these conditions, your neural pathways become rigid. Your mind transforms from an infinite landscape of possibilities into a prison constructed from habits, fears, and artificial desires. But what if there was a biological failsafe, a radical tool provided by nature designed to demagnetize these deeply ingrained programs? Enter psilocybin, the so-called magic mushroom. For decades, you've been told this is a dangerous drug, a one-way ticket to losing your mind. But science and neurobiology are revealing a truth that the system desperately wants to keep buried. Psilocybin doesn't make you lose your mind. It hacks the system, bypasses the firewall, and gives the control panel back to you. Let's break down the neurobiology of freedom. To understand how this hack works, we first need to look at how your brain is being controlled right now. Neuroscientists have identified a system in the brain called the default mode network, or DMN. Think of the DMN as the brain's main filtering mechanism, the ultimate CEO of your ego. In a healthy state, it keeps you grounded, but under the immense pressure of the modern matrix, the DMN becomes hyperactive. It acts as a strict censor, filtering out reality and leaving only the information that confirms your fears, your anxieties, and your identity as a consumer. When psilocybin enters the body, it initiates a profound intervention at the deepest biological level. It binds to serotonin receptors, specifically the 5-HT2A receptors, with unbelievable precision. The active molecule, psilocybin, is structurally almost identical to serotonin, the very neurotransmitter the system uses to signal peace, confidence, and joy. It's a perfect lock-and-key mechanism. When this connection is made, the default mode network is temporarily powered down. The ego's tyrant filter collapses. Suddenly, the brain operates in a state of hyperconnectivity. Regions of your brain that haven't communicated in years begin a direct and fluid dialogue. This is not just a hallucination. This is the moment your biological computer gains access to its hidden reserves. You reclaim your sovereign right to perceive truth directly, without the system's middlemen. The history of human interaction with these fungi goes back to eras when our connection with nature was the absolute foundation of survival, not just a chapter in a textbook. In ancient Central American cultures, they were revered. They called them Teonanácatl, which literally translates to the flesh of the gods, or the divine mushroom. This wasn't primitive entertainment. This was a strict technological protocol for accessing the planet's central database, the biosphere's collective intelligence. Shamans and priests utilized this resource to heal the psyche, to extract strategic forecasts, and to help their civilizations navigate and survive critical historical bottlenecks. But over the centuries, the Matrix exerted colossal efforts to erase these records. They swapped our deep respect for a powerful natural resource with a primitive programmed fear of the forbidden fruit. We have been indoctrinated to believe that the expansion of consciousness is a pathology, a disease, when in reality it is a natural biological capability hardwired into our DNA as an evolutionary leap mechanism. A mechanism the system has spent hundreds of years trying to jam. The greatest sabotage the Matrix ever committed against the human mind was the criminalization of nature's guides to awareness. By placing a living, non-toxic fungus in the same legal category as highly addictive synthetic poisons, the system executes a massive psychological bait and switch. Their goal? To sever humanity from its primary tool of self-correction. Official rhetoric constantly frames mushrooms as substances that cause a loss of control, but the irony is striking. In truth, they return the control of your own psychological processes back to you. The trap is simple. The matrix thrives on a citizen whose consciousness is locked in a narrow corridor, bouncing endlessly between low-grade anxiety and short-term dopamine spikes from screens, sugar, and shopping. Psilocybin systematically dismantles this architecture. It pulls back the curtain, allowing you to clearly see the artificial nature of your imposed values and synthetic fears. Today, we are seeing the rise of a new strategy, the sub-perceptual application of these fungi, commonly known as microdosing. This is not about embarking on a massive psychedelic trip. This is about long-term optimization of your cognitive hardware. Taking microscopic amounts, barely a fraction of a gram, acts like a slow, steady software update running in the background. Background anxiety fades, focus sharpens, the capacity for creative synthesis returns. It is the ultimate strategy for remaining highly effective and deeply aware inside the system without becoming its slave. Biochemically, microdosing stimulates BDNF, the brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is practically a process of neurological rejuvenation. It forces the growth of new synapses, healing the brain from the aggressive wear and tear of our modern information environment. But the true power of psilocybin lies in what it does to our repressed emotional archives. Our subconscious is a dark basement storing years of suppressed resentments, deep traumas, and childhood fears. The matrix constantly uses these hidden wounds as levers to control our reactions. Psilocybin initiates a radical internal drainage. It allows a person to revisit the exact moments in the past where their emotional energy became blocked. But this time, you don't experience it as a victim. You observe it from the perspective of a sovereign, mature observer. Deep-rooted psychological knots dissolve in real time, releasing colossal volumes of vital energy that were previously wasted on maintaining psychological defenses. After such an audit, a person gains genuine emotional independence. You can no longer be triggered by the system's cheap psychological tricks. You return to a foundation of unshakable inner peace. Engaging with this resource in the wild requires absolute discipline and flawless attention to detail. Psilocybin mushrooms are masters of camouflage. They don't stand out with neon colors. Their power is hidden beneath modest shades of beige, brown, and gold, quietly growing in organic rich soils, hidden in the shadows of tall grasses. One critical marker is oxidation. When damaged, the stem of a potent species bruises a distinct blue or green, signaling the active biochemical code within. But nature does not reveal its secrets to the arrogant passing by. The sovereign researcher must study deeply, separating the grains of truth from the dangerous lookalikes the system uses to scare away seekers. A full interaction with this species is not recreation. It is a serious internal expedition. Success relies on two pillars, set and setting. Set is your intention. The mushroom answers your query. Seek healing, and it reveals the root of the disease. Seek knowledge, and it opens the archives. Setting is safety, silence, and the complete absence of matrix signals that could distort the decoding process. Ultimately, the use of psilocybin leads to the realization of your complete biological autonomy. You understand, finally, that your brain is your sovereign territory. It breaks the illusion of separation on which matrix control is built. When you deeply feel your connection to the earth, the trees, and the universe, you can no longer be controlled through artificial scarcity and manufactured hatred. You reclaim your status as a creator. You choose your frequency. You build your reality. Wake up, take responsibility for your life, and remain sovereign. If you're ready to keep decoding the natural code with us, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this with those ready to awaken.